Hello, everyone, and welcome to the review of House on Mango Street, chapters 5 through 12. So, we're going to take a look at chapters 5 through 12 questions, and then we'll take a look at the review chart for chapters 5 through 7 only. We'll take a look at 8 through 12 on the next review. But let's look at the questions first, and we only chose a few of the questions, and these are what I feel are going to be some of the most important ones, especially when you apply it to your quiz for this week. And so we look here at chapter 5, and it's titled Kathy, Queen of Cats. And so for question 1, it says, why is Kathy called Queen of Cats? And the reason for this is because she has so many cats in her home, and she has big cats, small cats, fat cats, skinny cats. In a way, Esperanza describes it, is that her house is just cat heaven. It's just filled to the brim with cats. So that is why she's called Kathy, Queen of Cats. Now, question 2 here is, why is Kathy's family moving? So as you recall, Esperanza asked her if she wanted to be her friend, and Kathy said, I could, but only till next week, because again, her family is moving, and the reason they're moving is because the neighborhood is getting bad, and they want to move somewhere safer, quote unquote. So again, that's where Esperanza's family stands with the neighborhood. So chapter 6, here we have Our Good Day. So in this one, again, it goes back to, how does Kathy feel about the purchase? Well, to give you some backstory here, Esperanza meets both Rachel and Lucy, these two sisters, and they want to purchase a bike. And so, um, kind of goes back to question 2 here. Who are Esperanza's two new friends? It's Rachel and Lucy. They're two sisters, and they want to buy a bike. And so what happens is, um, they have only enough money to purchase part of the bike. So they ask Esperanza if she wants to go in on it, and if she purchases it, they can all share the bike and also be friends at the same time. So in a way, Esperanza is paying for friends. And for question 1, it says, how does Kathy feel about the purchase? Esperanza is all for it. At first, she's a little hesitant, but then the fact that she can have friends, and not just one but two, that's just great, because Kathy's going to be leaving anyways. So Kathy's upset, and Kathy's against it, and tells her, don't talk to them, don't um, you don't want to, talk to them or anything like that. But Esperanza wants to do what she wants to do, so Kathy ends up leaving. She is so upset about her purchasing the bike, and even thinking about it, she ends up leaving Esperanza. Chapter 7 here now is laughter. And so, um, really, what we talk about here is just we're comparing how Nenny and Esperanza are alike. And so, in this one, it's the two groups of sisters, Nenny and Esperanza, and then Rachel and Lucy. And in question 1, it says, how are Nenny and Esperanza alike? And it's that they're both in a way innocent, and they're both agreeing as they pass by a house that reminds them of Mexico, that their roots are still there. They still haven't forgotten who they are. Now, Rachel and Lucy, on the other hand, unlike Nenny and Esperanza, what Esperanza feels is that Rachel and Lucy look alike. They look very similar. She gives an example of her lips, like you could tell they're sisters. Whereas Nenny and Esperanza, Esperanza feels like her and her sister Nenny, they are not. That you couldn't tell. Chapter 8 was a relatively short chapter. It's called Gil's Furniture, Bought and Sold. And it says here, how does the personality between Esperanza and Nenny, um, how how are they? How are they different? And it's really that Nenny, if you see here, she asks questions. She talks a lot, and she's asking questions. She's not shy. Whereas Esperanza, she's more quiet, more reserved, um, more of an introvert. And Nenny's more of an extrovert, and that could be chalked up to maybe her age. But she's again, she's willing to talk, and she's willing to ask questions. So, chapter 9 here, Memi Ortiz. We meet a new character called Memi, and Memi is he has moved into Kathy's old home. So Kathy is gone now. The family has moved away, and so Kathy has. So now Memi's family has moved in, and Memi's real name is Juan. So Question 2 here, it says, where does Memi move into? He moves into Kathy's old house. So that's where he is, and then we're going to meet his family. And so that'll actually bring us to chapter 10 here. Louis, his cousin, another cousin, and Louis and his family. They live in a basement apartment that Memi's family has converted into an apartment. So this basement that in Kathy's old home that Memi's family has moved into, the mom has built this, converted the basement into an apartment. And so Louis and his family have moved in there. And question 1 says, describe who Louis is. And Louis is the oldest in a family of sisters. And he is friends with Esperanza's brothers. That's how Esperanza knows who Louis is. Now, question 2 is, who is Marin? And Marin is Louis' cousin. She is older than Esperanza, but lives with Louis' family because her family is back in Puerto Rico. So, and she wears nylons and lots of makeup. She wants to seem older than what she actually is. And that brings us to chapter 11 here, where, yes, she seems older. And it also asks us, why is Marin unable to leave her house? And it's because she is busy babysitting during the day, Louis' sisters. So she's babysitting, and she can't really leave the front porch. She has to stay there. And in Esperanza and her friends really admire Marin in a way because, again, the boys pay attention to her. They think, and she is not afraid or intimidated by anyone. She's, she doesn't give them the time of day. She's just kind of, will ignore them if she feels like it. The fact that she can do and say a lot of things that Esperanza wishes she could. That's who Marin is. And then last chapter here, chapter 12, those who don't. So it really refers to those who don't live in the neighborhood, who don't live in this mango street. And for question 1, it says here, how do the outsiders view Esperanza's neighborhood? And they're really afraid by it. They're scared to drive through the neighborhood. They're afraid they're going to get attacked if they walk through the neighborhood. Whereas for question 2, how do the people who live in Esperanza's neighborhood view it? They feel safe. They're not afraid. They know everybody there. They're not afraid by anyone, and there's a sense of community within that neighborhood. That's the ironic thing, where people are afraid as they drive through. These people feel safe, and they feel there's a sense of community. So that'll bring us to the end of these questions, but we're going to do a quick character review here for chapters 5 through 7. So again, I'll just refer back here. Chapter 5 through 7 was Kathy, Queen of Cats, Our Good Day, and Laughter. And so on just some of these. Again, remember, you're just adding to these as we go through the chapters. So as for Esperanza, we did add something to her. We found out that again, chapter 6. She's so desperate for friends. She wants friends. She pays $5 to purchase a bike with Rachel and Lucy. And she also, in a way, she's not just paying for the bike. She's really paying for friends. And 2 are better than the price of 1. So, and then the challenges she faces. And this is just in continuation. You'll see the ones in blue. That's the new items. The challenge that Esperanza faces is that not only does she want to leave and she feels like an outcast and she feels like she wants more, she also wants to be grown up and look more mature than she actually is. And we're going to see that come up in the chapters coming through, especially with Rachel and Lucy, who, if we scroll down as well, again, they're in the same way. The challenges they face, they want to also be grown up and look more mature than they actually are, whether it's makeup or clothes that they wear. Now, some things about them is that they're sisters and they're from Texas. And they bought a bike with Esperanza and promised to be her friend. But these girls, unlike Esperanza, these girls are more loud, sassy, not afraid to speak up and not afraid to say certain things. So, yes, so that's Rachel and Lucy. So, and as we go through here, we can look at Kathy now. In chapter 5, we know she's Queen of Cats. Again, cats, all kinds of cats, and cat heaven. And her family is moving away because they feel like the neighborhood's getting bad, and they just don't want to be in that element. Now, the challenges that she faces, really, that she was only in a few chapters, so she really didn't know too much. But with Kathy, it's that she agrees to be friends with Esperanza, but there's some conflict because, again, when Rachel and Lucy come into the picture, Kathy doesn't like Rachel and Lucy. She must know them from school, and does not really like the loud and obnoxious and sassy type way that these girls are, and warns Esperanza to stay away because they can lead to trouble. But Esperanza refuses, so this is what causes Kathy to leave, and we don't really see her again. And her family then ends up leaving. So that's Kathy. And so, excuse me. And so that just brings us, and the next one that'll bring us to the end of chapter 7. And in the next ones, we're gonna add a couple more to some of these characters here. Okay, we're gonna end up seeing some with again Meme and then Louis and so on, and we'll add some more to them. But that's just those characters. Um, so just keep on the lookout. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. Also, you will see this document attached in your Google Classroom. All right. All right. See you in the next video. Thank you.